Big Sexy Kevin Nash was in the news today. Why? Well, I'm going to tell you why. He did a podcast, and on this particular episode, he was asked, or he talked about LA Knight. And he essentially said, LA Knight is a ripoff of The Rock. Let me actually find everything that he actually said. Here's what Kevin Nash said about LA Knight. He says, am I the only one that sees an absolute ripoff of The Rock? To the point where he cut the promo on Logan Paul, or whatever the his name is. He said, yeah, stick it. And the only thing he didn't say was turn it sideways. What, does everybody else have amnesia? There's nothing original. As you can imagine, Twitter lit Kevin Nash up for this. And you know what? I didn't want to light up Big Sexy, because that's my dude. That's my dude. I grew up watching Big Sexy in the Wolfpack. Don't turn your back on the Wolfpack. Boom, doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Don't turn your back on the Wolfpack. You might wind up in a body bag. Yeah. The Wolfpack was the shit, bro. That NWO storyline went absolutely nowhere after a couple years, but the Wolfpack. Arriba la raza! Conan, Lex Luger, Sting, Macho Man Randy Savage, and Kevin Nash? So look here. Kevin can say whatever the hell he wants. He can say whatever he wants. I might disagree with him, but you will never, ever, ever, ever see me come up here and be like, hey, what the hell was that? Because it's Kevin Nash. So, when he made those comments, here's what I tweeted. I said, first off, Kevin is entitled to his opinion like anyone else. Plus, he's always had controversial takes. As long as I know him, this ain't even half. That doesn't even cover half of the crazy stuff that he said over the last, 30 years? Because he's been in wrestling for a good 3 decades now. This comment about LA Knight being a ripoff of The Rock doesn't even crack the top 10. I'm just saying.
What's good, Alyx? Little note. Birthday is now since it's 12 a.m. But, Raw does not even make sense anymore. Triple H is so much better running the shows. It's so bad that I had to make my own fanfic version of the WWE LMAOOO.
Well, I don't remember. Well, first off, I don't even blame you, my dude. Raw is really, really, really bad. And I don't even remember half of Raw. So I can't even tell you if you're right or wrong. I'm just going to trust your name. I'm just going to actually trust your viewpoint, because Raw was so boring tonight. If it wasn't for the women, I wouldn't even be wasting my time with it. If it wasn't for this YouTube channel, I wouldn't be talking about it. Oh, by the way, happy birthday. Well, it's 11 p.m. for me, but 12 a.m. for you. Happy freaking birthday, Mr. Tony Baptiste, and thank you for the donation. My dude, we gotta pop some bottles, man. Pop them bottles, pop them bottles, pop them bottles. Well, I'm going to save the bottles for my birthday coming up, so. Anyways, back to what I was talking about. So, yeah, Big Sexy, he ain't even said, he said a lot of things worse compared to this. But even though he has a right to his opinion, let me just get this out the way right now. And I say it right here. Almost every wrestler that you know about, even your favorites, Hulk Hogan, Steve Austin, The Rock, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Bret Hart, Randy Savage, Andre the Giant. Well, Randy might be, I don't know, I'll have to talk about Randy maybe later, but Edge, Rey Mysterio, Sting, Kurt Angle, every wrestler that you know, every wrestler has taken something from a wrestler in the past. I can probably name you maybe 4 or 5 that was absolutely original, and everything they did, no one else did. And some of them, I would have to go all the way back to like Luthez. Like Undertaker was an original gimmick. The shit that Mankind, McFoley was doing, no one else did. AJ Styles was one in a million. You know, Rey Mysterio was 1 in a million. Although Rey Mysterio was using stuff that many others did before, he just looked good doing it. You see what I mean? It's gonna be very hard for me to like sit through every wrestler and go, okay, this one's original. No one's been able to be what this person is. So outside of maybe 4 or 5 wrestlers, like Shawn Michaels, that super kick that he uses, the sweet chin music, he got that from Chris Adams. Ric Flair, woo, the Nature Boy. Wasn't always the Nature Boy. He stole that, straight up said stole that from Buddy Rogers. Hulk Hogan modeled his look and his physique after Billy Graham, superstar Billy Graham. Eddie Guerrero, that frog splash that he made famous, got that from Art Barr. Kevin Nash, the power bomb, he didn't invent that. Luthez did. Steve Austin, Luthez Press, got that from Luthez. Basically everything that Steve Austin, that whole look with the bald head and mustache, you know, the mustache, the goatee. Vince has a mustache. Austin had a goatee. You know, that was very reminiscent of Luthez. So, to me, originality is very rare in wrestling. Very rare. Not saying it doesn't exist, but whether it's AEW or WWE, someone has stolen something from somewhere in the past. And that's okay. Why make a big fuss about it? To me, LA Knight being compared to The Rock, I think that's a goddamn compliment. And guess what? There are people comparing him to Stone Cold Steve Austin. If you're comparing, you are literally comparing LA Knight to the Michael Jordan and LeBron James of professional wrestling. Why be upset about that? That is a compliment. Excuse me? So, everyone getting mad at Kevin Nash for saying, oh, he's a ripoff, he's not original. I'm like, who is? Who is? And if he's going to be a ripoff of somebody, yeah, be a ripoff of some of the greatest of all time. And despite all that, who's the most over talent coming out of Money in the Bank? LA Knight, thank you. So who cares? Let Kevin Nash have his opinion. Let him say what he needs to say. Y'all know whose show it really is. You already know that when we show up on SmackDown, there's only one megastar, and you know his name, so everybody say his name with me. LA Knight, yeah!